Welcome back, trainers. So in this video, we're going to be testing the algorithm to see if we can have it show its ugly rear, because there's a lot of discussion whether or not it's real or not, and I'm not here to argue about it or anything, and this certainly by no means is a complaint video. I just wanted to do a fun video here to see what would happen. So we're going to be using all counter users. We have Deoxys, we have Scrafty, and we have Vigoroth. So I have a kind of balanced team to kind of help each other out here. So the first battle we do see is going to be a Hypno in the lead, which is going to resist counter by everything, right? We can go in here with Scrafty, right? That's great. We're going to be resisting the psychic moves, but it's just funny that we see that. What's the next Pokemon? A Skarmory, which you know, is not necessarily resisting the fighting because it is part steel, but it is going to be able to combat these counter users pretty well, which I found quite interesting. And ooh, what do you know? What do they have in the back? And it's a Nazumeral, which also is going to be resisting counter. Now, could this just be a coincidence? I don't think so. I guess so. I mean, this is a somewhat common team comp to see in the Go Battle League, but very interesting that I just so happened to run into this, the first team that I did put together using all counter type Pokemon. So if you're not aware of what an algorithm is for the Go Battle League, let me tell you exactly. Pretty much it's going to kind of keep a balance between the players, and it's not necessarily working against anybody all the time. Obviously that's not the way it's meant to be, but to kind of hold people back, or maybe just throw them for a loop once in a while if they're doing well, or whatever the system is like calculating behind the scenes. I have no idea, but I've kind of picked up on some of these rhythms here. So basically the algorithm will just like hard counter your team. You know, there's really not much to say about it. People have reported, you know, going you know, many losses, and then all of a sudden their leads in the beginning of the match, the two Pokemon, they have a great lead for multiple battles after losing many times. Or if they win multiple times, all of a sudden they're getting hard countered by the teams over and over again. Now, again, this could be all coincidence, but I don't believe in just coincidence, and it's too much of a it's too much evidence at this point. I mean, look, we have a Medicham. Did you see the first Pokemon? Again, another team that's going to be able to combat all counter-type users. All right, so again, I am just having a little bit of fun here. I wanted to put together a kind of a fun team. You know, I wanted to use, instead of Deoxys, Alakazam with counter, but it just doesn't work too well in the current meta. I mean, it can find some great matchups, but Deoxys I just found is going to be a little bit better for me here. So at this point, we're completely screwed. There's nothing we can do. We saved our shields, but at this point, the counters are just doing way too much damage. The Altaria, let's see what happens here. I mean, they have another Pokemon, so it doesn't really matter. We can counter down, and I mean, I wouldn't say that was a close battle, it wasn't. All right, on to the next one here. Lola Marowak, another Pokemon that is going to be countering counter, that is going to be resisting counter. So what we have for Lola Marowak here, we have both the Scrafty and the Vigoroth, but this specific one is not running it might have Shadow Ball, but it's got Flame Wheel too, so it's not going for Bone Club, so obviously they're not going to be going for Shadow Ball here. And I wanted to get the shield, but this guy is playing chicken. I think I'm playing chicken too. Let's get it. All right, so at this point, we're like, you know what, forget this. We're just going to go for Bulldoze and take this thing out. I would imagine they use a shield. They don't use a shield. It's very surprised they did not there. And Skarmory, what do you know? All right, so we have the Deoxys to go against that. So here, I'm going to give you a few secret tips, all right? See, I believe the algorithm picks up not only by the Pokemon that you have and the typings to go up against you, but also the moves that you do have. A lot of times that I've noticed this in the past was going to be, I have a Pokemon that is going to be weak to the Pokemon that they are first bringing in the front. And the Pokemon that I have in the front is actually going to be weak to the Pokemon that they have in the back of their team. Like I said, this could all be coincidence, but I keep seeing these little patterns. Let me know if you've noticed the same kind of deal. So, I mean, you could almost try to test this out and build a team with 2 Pokemon that are going to be weak to a specific type in the back. I mean, a lot of people do this already, and then have a Pokemon to protect that, or those 2 types in the front, and see what's going to happen, and see what the game is going to throw at you, okay? So, here we go, Meganium, we finally have something that's not going to be hard countering us, and we're actually able to finally take a win, because we were not hard countered by every single Pokemon. So that's quite amazing, we're able to pull 1 win there. So watch what we do here, we're going to switch it up a little bit, and just to let you know, that was the free track. So now what we're going to do is take out Scrafty and put in Shiftry, because I mean, Azumarill is a bit of a problem, and Shiftry is really spammy. Let's see if we can pull this off. We're met with a Stunfisk, which is not necessarily going to counter users, but the Deoxys for sure, especially with Rock Slide and Thunderbolt. So we're waiting for them to get off their charge move, and now we're going to go ahead and swap into our Vigoroth here and let them get off their charge move, expecting them to swap after this. I think they swapped, did they? I didn't catch that. They swapped into Skarmory, so there's that Pokemon that's going to be able to counter the counter users to some degree here, and Body Slam is not going to be very effective. Bulldoze is also not very effective, but at this point you might as well just keep going Body Slam. It's more efficient to do that at this point. They're going to take us out. That's fine. We're going to go back in here with Deoxys. We have loaded energy. We're just going to go for a Rock Slide because that's going to be enough to take them out at this point. We don't need to waste all that energy on a Thunderbolt. So we got the threat for the Shiftry out of the way. Great. And they have another Stunfisk. Well, not another, but the Stunfisk. So we're going to swap to catch this. Whatever they do is not going to be very effective. A Mud Bomb. And since we got rid of the Skarmory, we don't really have to worry about a counter. I mean, technically they could have another one in the back, but they're staying here, which leads me to believe, all right, that they do have something in the back with weak to Shiftry, which is great. And our Deoxys also has energy as well. So that's going to be great. And what we're going to do is just simply get all these off here. So what do you guys think? Pretty interesting stuff here, right? Like I said, I'm not here to argue with anybody or say, you know, just bicker about little things, because it's personally set in stone for myself that I believe that there is one. The biggest question, which I'm going to address again whenever I bring this up, is people say, well, if there's an algorithm, why do I get good leads all the time? Or why am I able to counter all these teams with my team and it seems like smooth sailing for me? I mean, because like I said, it's not going to be working against you all the time, 100%. It's a very weird, finicky thing. I don't know exactly how it works, but it is there. I personally believe, right? So anyways, we're up against an Azumarill, all right. And this is, you know, this is great, actually. We're going to go ahead and swap into our Shiftry here after they did get off that energy. And they still had a bunch left over, so kind of a risk doing this. They're deciding to stay in here, so very interesting. They might have more weak to it, or they just want to play this out here really quick, but we'll see what happens. So just going to continue on. And they swap into Skarmory, and we're going to go ahead and shield this up. And get this off here. Let's see what we can do. Yes, I shielded up my Shiftry because I want it to be alive for the Azumarill here. And then they have an Alolan Raichu. Again, the Shiftry is going to be good against that. So yet again, a team that is going to be able to resist counter users. And that's why I'm putting Shiftry on here, because I found a lot of Pokemon that can resist the counters are going to be able to take a lot of damage from Shiftry, some of them. And we're able to survive that. Unfortunately, not able to get off the Leaf Blade, but they are using all their energy here, which is fine, which is great. Going to go ahead and farm down that Alolan Raichu and go for the Body Slam immediately onto the Azumarill and take the win with the Vigoroth. Vigoroth is really good, guys. Really fun Pokemon to use. A little bit expensive depending upon the level that you do have. That secondary move is pricey. So we're met with a Shadow Machamp. So that's a good lead. They're swapping into Azumarill right away, and that's great. We're going to go right into our Shiftry here, and we're looking beautiful. So do I recommend picking a Pokemon, a team that the same quick move? Absolutely not. I mean, I don't really need to tell you guys that. You already know. But it was just fun to see what happens. Incredible that the game threw so many hard counters at me. I wonder what would have happened if I would have went to the premium pass. You know what I should have done? I should have went premium, and then I should have went free to see the side-by-side comparisons with the all-counter team, to see what exactly what it would have given me. But I feel like it would have still been screwed a little bit because, you know, sometimes when you do lose, it kind of helps you out to pull those wins with the counters that it does give you. So we have an Abomasnow back here, which is great. Counter super effective. Rock Slide super effective. Taking the win. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a big thumbs up. I'll be keeping you up to date on everything Pokemon Go, bringing some more battles. Thanks for watching, and I'll be catching you all next time. Take care.